The journey of changing Southampton. Indian indentured labour to the Caribbean. Who were the Indian indentured labourers? In 1838, with the abolition of slavery at its onset, the British were in the process of transporting 1 million Indians out of India and into the Caribbean to take the place of the recently freed Africans, freed in 1833, utilising indentureship. Indians' population provided the British Empire with a ready source of cheap and mobile labourers. Women, looking for what they believed would be a better life in the colonies, were specifically sought after and recruited at a much higher rate than men, due to the high population of men already in the colonies. However, women had to prove their status as single and eligible to emigrate, as married women could not leave without their husbands. Many women seeking escape from abusive relationships were willing to take that chance. The Indian Immigration Act of 1883 prevented women from exiting India as widowed or single in order to escape. Many Indians agreed to indenture, not knowing where they were going, not knowing what the work was, but knowing they were living in absolute poverty, and that it was a 5-year contract with a continuation of 5-year potential agreements. So the Indians agreed to indenture, which increased dramatically after the abolition of slavery. They were sent, sometimes in large numbers, to plantations, colonies, producing high-value crops, such as sugar, in Africa, but primarily in the Caribbean. After the end of slavery, the West Indian sugar colonies tried the use of emancipated slaves. Families from Ireland, Germany and Malta, and Portuguese from Madeira. All these efforts failed to satisfy the labour needs of the colonies due to the high mortality rate of those new arrivals and their reluctance to continue working at the end of their indenture. On the 16th of November 1844, the British East Indian government legalised emigration to Jamaica, Trinidad and Demerara, Guyana. The first ship, the Whitby, sailed from Port Calcutta for British Guyana on 13th of January 1838 and arrived in Berbice on the 5th of May 1838. Transportation to the Caribbean stopped in 1848 due to problems in the sugar industry and resumed again in Demerara and Trinidad in 1851 and Jamaica in 1860. From 1838 to 1917, over 500,000 Indians from the former British Raj, or British India and colonial India, were taken to 13 mainland and island nations in the Caribbean. Obviously, they weren't nations then. And people were taken as indentured labour to address the demand for sugarcane plantation labour following the abolition of slavery. By some estimates, over 2.5 million people in the Caribbean are of Indian subcontinent origin. Many have ethnically blended with migrants from other parts of the world, creating a unique syncretic culture. Now, the majority of the Indians living in the English-speaking Caribbean came from eastern Uttar Pradesh and western Bihar, which are mostly Hindi speakers, while those brought to Guadeloupe and Martinique were largely from Andhra Pradesh and Tamil Nadu. About 20% of the indentured were Tamils and Telugus, particularly in Trinidad and Tobago and Guyana. A minority emigrated from other parts of South Asia, including present-day Pakistan and Bangladesh. Indo-Caribbeans comprised the largest ethnic group in Guyana, Trinidad and Tobago and Suriname. They are the second largest group in Jamaica, Grenada, St. Vincent and the Grenadines, St. Lucia, Martinique and Guadeloupe. There are also small communities in Anguilla, Antigua and Barbuda, the Bahamas, Barbados, Belize, French Guiana, Panama, Dominican Republic, Puerto Rico and the Netherlands Antilles. Small groups also exist in Haiti, where they are sometimes mistakenly referred to as mulattoes. Now, the point of this project is to help people understand the journey that people went on to come to Southampton. But it's also to understand who those people are, which is why the background information. Now, if you want to help with the Journey project, please become a volunteer. Obviously, it's easier if you live or in or near Southampton or Hampshire, but we can be creative. And there are a range of tasks, particularly research, which we will help to teach you. Also, if you or your family moved from the Indian subcontinent directly or via Kenya, Uganda, South Africa, Trinidad and Tobago, contact us if you want us to tell your story. To contact us, the email address is thejourney@unity101.org. I'll repeat that. The email address is thejourney@unity101.org.